The guy never expected that one successful hunt, plus a perfect hero moment saving a girl, would land him a white-haired wife. After fighting for his country for 20 years and earning countless military honors, he got screwed over because he came from nothing. The king gave him a fake promotion. On paper he was made a lord of a border territory, but in reality all he got was an empty grassland. He planned to just crash there and figure things out in the morning, but he was woken up by a white-haired girl, demanding to know why he was sleeping there. He answered honestly, because he had nowhere else to sleep. Even when she called him an idiot, he could not argue back. He had spent his whole life on battlefields, never went to school. The reason he ended up here was because the king ordered him to live here. Since he did not want to die, he had to survive. Seeing that she clearly did not buy his story, he said he was just following his parents' dying wish to help others and protect the weak. Then the horn on her forehead suddenly glowed blue. She pressed him eagerly, asking if he was an enemy or an ally. He did not get why she was so worked up. Then he remembered this was his territory, so she was technically his subject. As a lord, he figured he could not just say he was her ally, or she might resent him. She could not believe what she heard. She grabbed his hand and dragged him to the village. He was surprised. He had not even noticed this place yesterday. She brought him to the chief and reported everything. What the guy said was nothing but pure sincerity. So the chief asked him if he was willing to be an ally of the village. He said of course he was, since they were all residents of his land. But the next second the girl aimed an arrow at him. The chief told her to calm down, then asked him to explain the full story of how the king appointed him. It turned out he grew up poor, but his parents always taught him to protect the weak. They died from a plague when he was 10, and he raised the other orphans as best he could. Then enemy soldiers attacked. He joined the army to defend his homeland and discovered he had a real talent for combat. Over 20 years he earned countless merits, and the king rewarded him with this land. The chief asked him what if they were not actually his subjects. He said it did not matter. They were all neighbors anyway. If they ran into trouble he would help them out. Only then did he realize something was off. Turns out this village was not actually part of his land, and worse, they were the demon tribe, enemies of the kingdom. Even though the demon tribe had fought the kingdom for years, they were not his enemies. Since he was a rare blue soul, maybe they could actually get along. It turned out both the demon tribe and the kingdom wanted control of this grassland, but after the demon tribe lost the war 50 years ago, most of them fled from this area. The chief stayed behind because the demon tribe's horns could use various kinds of magic, including a concealment ability that could hide the entire village and its presence. That was why he did not spot it yesterday. If he had not been a blue soul, the chief would never have revealed this secret. The demon tribe had a soul reading spell. It turned red if someone showed hostility, white for harmless, and neutral, blue, meant someone who could bring happiness to the tribe. The chief promised to supply him with goods and help him become a proper lord. She also lent him a runa to live with him and teach him how to survive out here. The demon tribe quickly set up a yurt for him and gave him a pair of sheep. If they bred and multiplied, he would have a steady income.